And there we go. We are live. Liz, thank you so much for being here, everybody. Welcome to Agents Who Win, our Friday show at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard. We want to bring value back to the agents. I'm Todd Schroth, eXp Realty, head of the Facebook group Agents Who Win. So, Liz, I wanted to thank you for popping on today. You run a program called it's a perks program for your loyal database, how to get repeatable business and through rewarding your clients. And yes. You wrote a book on it, which I read, which was amazing. We were able to take, it's a lot of stuff you have, but we kind of condensed the small version of it. And our clients love the stuff we do. So I wanted to kind of just dive in and tell us a little bit more about it. And then I've got a few questions for you.
Okay. Well, the book, I got it here. I don't know if it's, whoa. Oh,
there we go.
Okay. Perk Your Sphere, rewarding those that reward you. So it's just a way of showering your top clientele with gifts and events and making them feel special and keeping you top of mind.
So you wrote this. Now, is your business like totally 100% repeat and referral?
No, it's a good portion of it. Well, some of it gets a little incestuous because I also run a farm in the neighborhood I live in. And so sometimes when I do get a new piece of business, I'm like, well, is it because they saw all my signs and got my postcards? Or is it because they know Jill, who just closed with me, and she referred them? So it gets a little messy sometimes. But it is the bulk of my business.
Cool. Yeah, mine, we're very similar in business. Most of my stuff personally is repeat and referral. And we're also in a farm where we're involved with the schools, the parades, the community, all that stuff. So we're always handing out swag with our branding on it. And so everyone loves the cooler bags. They love the towels. They love, the golf tees. Whatever we have, we're putting out there. And I even have, hey, can we get one more cooler bag? My husband wants one, or the kids want one for school.
Right.
So our elementary school in our community, we sponsor the first day of school every year. So all the teachers are walking around with their branding on their back.
Oh, fun.
So, and it's our friends' kids who have our shirts as well. So I'll see them coming from the bus stop or whatever. I'm like, hey, thanks for marketing at the school today.
Right.
And it's fun. I mean, we're obviously wearing our swag today. We pretty much put our name on everything. So it's cool. So how did you come up with this program? Because it's something that it's, and actually turning it into a book.
Yeah. Well, so back towards the end of 2013, my coach, my business coach, was going through all my numbers and how many that were going to close. And he called me out on not getting, in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book, they say for every 12 people in your database, you should get 2 pieces of business. I wasn't hitting those numbers. And it turned out, I was sending out a monthly mailer and a monthly email and a birthday card or a football schedule, things like that. But I wasn't making the phone calls. And it's something I've always struggled with. And so he was like, you need to do something different because this is not good. And what was funny is the day before I had lunch with a colleague or competitor, he was asking me about how I farm. Or at that time, I just started doing an online farm. And I gave him my formula. And he gave me this idea. I changed it quite a bit because his, I felt, was a little overcomplicated and expensive. I didn't have that kind of budget at the time. But I called him back because at first when he tried to tell me about it, I was like, that's way too expensive, way too complicated. I'm not doing that. Then my coach called me out. So then I called him back. I was like, hey, Jeremy, so can I take you to lunch now? And I figured out a way to simplify it and modify it to fit me more.
Right.
And I started running it. I did the launch in January of 2014, meaning I, started reaching out to my clients saying, hey, every month we're going to do this. I'm sorry. I've been terrible about staying in touch and whatever. And then the first giveaway went out in March. And so that was March of 2014. I stopped coaching with that coach in November of 2014. I just needed a break. Right. And I got to a point where I didn't want anybody telling me what I wasn't doing or what I was lacking or where I could be improving. I just wasn't in a place
That's why we hire coaches.
Right. But after 3 years, I was just like,
Right.
Back off. Just back off. Yeah. Well, I had hit a bunch of milestones. Like I got my marriage back together. It's now apart again, by the way. I got debt free.
Right.
My business was finally like, I was kicking ass, and I just wasn't trying to hear it. And so, but then in October of 2015, I did get back into coaching because I was hiring a buyer's agent, and that's just not my cup of tea, is managing people. So she was going through all my numbers, because whenever you get a new coach, they dissect every ounce of your being and your business and what are the numbers on this and da da da. So she's like, what is this MVP program? And I loosely explained it. She's like, well, the numbers aren't really adding up. It looks like you're getting a 17-to-1 rate of return. And I'm like, what does that mean? Just for every $1 you spend, you get 17 back. So did you only spend this much this year and you got this much? And I go, yeah. She goes, oh my God. So anyway, she encouraged me to write the book because she's like, the goal in our industry is to get 3 or 4-to-1. 5-to-1 is phenomenal. 17-to-1 is unheard of.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. So I wrote the book hoping that I could get enough of a following and get a coaching company to pick it up and then just pay me royalties. Or, show up
any
on
coaching companies listening to this, call Liz.
Yeah.
Going.
I'll teach. I'll come on the call. I just don't want to worry about getting people to sign up for it. That's a whole business in and of itself, So
I mean, that is any type of new system is you've got to have the systems written out to be able to do something with, and then manage it after the fact and make sure it's going to get scaled.
Promote it. Yeah. So like my friend, she just started her own business with being a personal organizer. I go, well, there's that part of your business, but then the bulk of your business is lead generating, getting people to want to hire you.
Yep.
And she wasn't trying to hear that, and so
quickly.
I'd have to lead generate to get people to sign up for my program, and I don't want to do that.
So how do you determine, when you called all your people in January and said, hey, I'm starting this program, how did you present it to them? And say they're going to start getting stuff in the mail, or, you have 200 people in your database and you're going to pick your top 50. How did you determine those when you didn't have a referral program beforehand?
Well, I decided that the litmus test was if they had closed business with me, referred business to me, or tried to do business with me. And that last part would be like, let's say I listed your house because you were going to move to Nebraska and for a job, and then you didn't get the job or something fell through. So then we had to cancel your listing. So you didn't close business with me, but you've shown me that I was your realtor of choice.
Right.
So basically that was my litmus test. So I had a database of like 1,500. I'd been in business 10 years when I started this. And I just picked those people, and then obviously not it. So
I mean, it's not 1,500 people.
No, I did 100. I think it was 174.
Okay.
Because some of those people I never wanted to talk to again. We all have those, and so I started that, and I sent them a letter, an email. I called. I did basically like an 8x8, also in the MLA book, for this campaign. And I came from a place of apology. I explained this to people. You can do this program as a brand new agent, and you don't have to come from a place of apology. But when you've been in business 10 years, you're kind of going to come from a place of like, hey, I've been sucking at staying in touch and showing my appreciation for you. So I'm going to make it my job every month to find some item of value or event that you and or your family will enjoy. Some of the things won't be interesting for you, but some will. And there's no obligation. You just answer up for it. It's first come, first serve. If, sometimes I can get 10 of something. Sometimes I can get 25 of something. And that's how that goes.
How do you set a budget on those items? And I guess, where are you finding the items?
Well, the budget. So at the time I was attempting to be a cold caller, and I had Vulcan 7. That was $300 a month. So, because that was the other thing my old coach had pointed out, that I was sucking at my cold calls. I was just sucking overall, by the way. And,
Well, you've become a national speaker or national author now.
right? So I took that $300 and just moved it into this. And so I decided 150 of that $300 would be for the giveaways.
Okay.
And I also set a rule that I had to get at least 10 things because I don't put things in the mail. When COVID hit earlier this year, we did a few things in the mail. There's always been my golf gift certificates for a round of golf that ends up in the mail a lot. But the rule I have is it has to be big and bulky and not easy to just slip in the mail because I want to see the clients face to face. I want to either have them come into the office and chat with me for 5 minutes in the lobby, or I want to go to coffee with them or happy hour or something. So I would get either like 10 things that cost $15 a piece or 15 things that cost $10 a piece or whatever. And then in the book, I explain you always want to try to find that discount. So like the round of golf I just brought up, that was normally like $29 and I got it for $15. And at first they kind of scoffed at me about it. And I'm like, look, nobody's going to come golfing by themselves. So you're going to get extra money there. Then they're probably going to rent a cart. You're going to get money from there. Then they're going to drink in your bar. And they're like, okay, lady, fine. You can have them for 15 a piece. So, but yeah, a lot of like these bags we're doing next month, we're filling with some fun things, but the bags themselves are normally $40 a piece. And my friend that is it's a MLM thing or direct sales thing. She has a once or twice a year sale where they're $9 a piece. So I just buy a whole bunch of them.
So be an opportunist, in products like that.
Yeah. And I have Groupon and all that kind of stuff. So when we find things that, are cheap and easy and some of the things aren't that much of a discount, or like I'll get wine or champagne by the case and then put them with a couple of cute glasses or something like that. Or like one, go ahead.
Let's talk about a non-COVID state. Are you getting trouble with people coming to your office, like to pick it up? Because they got to realize it's a $15 or $20 product that they're getting.
Sometimes it's more. No, so like I always say in the book too, like don't get a $10 thing that they can get themselves for $10.
Yeah.
If it is truly just that, like have it be something that was hard to find. Because sometimes on vacation I'll pick up a bunch of something interesting because you can't get it locally.
Well, and then you just went on a business trip. So there you go. Pick up some product.
Right.
Find a way to write the trip off.
Leave them out front. Sometimes I try not to make it a habit of dropping them off because I just closed my 102nd sale of the year the other day.
Congratulations.
When you're doing that many deals, you can't be running all over town dropping things off for people.
Right.
So, and I warn people on that, like, even if you're not that busy now, I have one agent reach out to me. She's like, I've been dropping them off and now I'm too busy and I don't know what to do. And I go, well, you created a monster, kind of like spoiling a child. I said, you're going to have to come up with a way to explain that it's just not feasible now. So I'll still do it. Like in my farm, some of my people live like literally across the street or next door, or if like they just had a baby or they broke their leg, I'm not going to make them come in.
That's a case by case, and the people you want to see. That's where I think I failed on it is we didn't do a lot of drop-offs. We did a lot more mail, and we asked them to like tag us on Facebook. And we did koozies for like Father's Day. We did, variation of stuff. And we actually used to do something monthly, and now we do it quarterly because it was a lot to manage. But we're, 2021, we're hoping to, re-engage it a little bit differently. But I like the idea of them coming to the office to pick it up because it does give you an opportunity to have a conversation with them versus, hey, let me run up to their door, drop it off and run away so I don't have to talk to them.
Right. No, the whole point is to get face to face. That's the whole point. And so in the book, I explain it's not about the gift, but it has to be enough about the gift to make them want to take their lunch hour to come to your office or to sit and have coffee with you. So it has to be compelling enough, but it's not really about the gift. It's about getting face to face with them. And that's, another thing I get, because we have a mastermind group on Facebook, and people will say, it's the same people answering over and over. And I go, because you're buying the same stuff over and over. You're buying whatever you like. So I have to write some of the things I think are ridiculous. I'm like, who would want this? And then all the people answer up. And then you have to appeal to the women, and then the men, and then the people with kids, and then the people without kids, and then the elderly. And you got to mix it up with some weird stuff.
What's been your best thing that and I posted the Facebook group here, which we'll put in the chat after the show. What has been your best giveaway that you've had?
Oh, there's a few. We didn't do it this year because of COVID, but the best one that I know I have to get like 30 or more and we blow the budget, are mani-pedi gift certificates for Mother's Day.
Okay.
Another one that's been a hit year, we just do it every year, is, there's a couple, is roses in February. We'll bulk order them from either Costco, or actually my assistant realized that Safeway is cheaper and the roses were fresher. So we put together dozens of roses. And then that gets the men out of the database. They'll answer that. Mm-hmm. They can come home, swing by, and take them home for Valentine's Day.
We don't have to worry about going to the store. We're just stop by the real estate office.
Exactly. And then every October we do a family photo shoot. I hire a photographer for mini sessions, and up here in the Northwest, it's beautiful fall colors. And so they have really pretty pictures to put on their Christmas cards or Christmas letters, whatever they're going to do, or just frame and give to grandma or whatever.
We just did that this year. We usually do a fall festival. About 3 years ago, we started doing that. And then obviously because COVID, we didn't want to host it. And so we decided to do like a mini session for everybody. So we had probably 30 families show up, which was a great turnout. And we had them booked every 5 minutes. You know, it was nice when there wasn't somebody who didn't book a time. So we had a few more minutes to talk with people. But it was, we wanted to keep the door rotating. So it's like, we had this.
So what I do with that, I just book them by the hour. Do you want 12 to 1, 1 to 2? Because then because nobody's ever really on time. They're either early or they're late.
Well, we were trying to book 30 families within 3 hours.
Yeah.
And so we had the photographer here at the office, and if people were still coming, we would have kept shooting. But it was fun because we had some clients who stuck around and hung out, and we were able to chat with them, and some came, got their shots, and we sent them the photos a week later, and they put them on Facebook.
Yeah.
So we had a nice little giveaway for everybody that showed up. So that was fun. It was just something different, and it was obviously a lot less work than doing a fall festival with 200 people.
Exactly. Some of these aren't rocket science. They're pretty easy.
Yeah. We did, we usually do a spring happy hour or something. So we, with COVID, we decided to do beach towels, and those we ran and dropped off at everybody's house. We didn't stay for conversations just to respect the distancing. But it was cool when, being in Florida, everyone's going to the beaches to try and get away. So our towels were all over, the Daytona, New Smyrna, all the beaches around here. So it was pretty cool. And we sent them to friends across the country. So it's like, all right, we got our towels now in New York and Wisconsin and California. And so it's something different, and that we still have a lot of now. We're coming up on the cold season. I guess you can call it that we've got here in Florida. It's going to be 70 today.
That's freezing.
Yeah. So I had a couple other things I want to ask you. Do you like bulk out like the clientele who's giving the most referrals, like an ABC type client?
Yes. So when I wrote the book, it was just starting to emerge, but it's the 80-20 principle that shows up everywhere. So it shows up in your database too. So I call it winner's circle. So it's the top 20% that's giving me 80% of the referrals. So they'll get either first dibs at something, or they'll get like the roses thing. If they're in winner's circle, they also get a gourmet box of truffles.
Okay.
They'll get extra things. So, and I've done a few events just for winner's circle. I'm trying to coordinate another one right now, except we just got on lockdown again. So, yeah.
Makes that fun.
I'm like, I'm just trying to see my people and sell them houses.
Yeah. So like your winner's circle. So here's what I would see happening. I'm in the winner's circle. You're in call it the B circle. I got the nice truffles and I posted on Facebook. Thanks, Liz, for the nice rose and truffles for my wife. And then you're going to be like, wait, why didn't I get truffles? I only got a rose. Do you ever have anybody like complain like that?
Oh, for sure. No, I tell everybody in the whole thing, that the email that goes out, here's what you get. And if you're winner circle, you get this.
So there's a winners, losers, and bottom feeder circle.
Everybody wants to be a winner.
Okay.
So it's very on purpose that I do that. So then other people say, well, hey, how do I get into winner's circle? I'm like, one more referral or another piece of business and you're there. Who do you know?
That's perfect. I mean, it's if you put them all the same email going out with not who's in what group, but realizing that they're in the mid-tier group or whatever, and makes them want to strive to be able to get that extra item of value that's in there. That's
very on purpose. And even my MVP events, we have a Facebook group for that, but I will post a lot of it on my regular Facebook so people see what I'm doing. They're like, hey, how come I wasn't invited to that? And I'm like, you've never given me a referral.
I had one at our event that we had, with the photos. I had one of the dads come back. Hey, can we get another cooler bag? I'm like, just because we had 3 closings with you, I'll give you one, but I've never seen a referral from you. So I'm like, here's an extra cooler bag. I mean, the cooler bags are $5 or $10, but it's like they all want that extra product. And it's like, so start bringing me business. And ironically, the people that give me a lot of referrals don't show up to anything. They just keep sending the business over, which we appreciate them. But the ones who don't want to come to everything.
Well, it's kind of like us with, and I tell like the title reps, I'm like, you don't have to take me to lunch. I'm still going to give you my business because you close everything without drama, and I don't need the lunch.
Right.
Sometimes I do, but
I just need the drinks, not the lunch.
Right.
I was going to ask you, do you have your mastermind group? I see a lot of questions being asked in there. Hey, what's going on for Mother's Day? What's going on for Father's Day? What's going on for this month? Do you have like the best topics or best things to give away? Or I love how everyone's engaging and giving advice back as well.
Yeah, I hold back a little bit. I didn't put a lot in the book either because I really I can't tell you how many times people have like reached out and said, can you just give me your list of everything you did last year? And I'm like, no, because your database is different than my database.
Right.
It's everybody's clientele's different. Some things like, I mean, this is a big obvious one, but like, well, I guess that sounded weird, but my database loves alcohol. Any giveaway we have with alcohol, they're in. And they have a good sense of humor because they work with me. They have to. So like one of our giveaways was Netflix and chill for back to school, not this year, last year. And it was a bottle of champagne and a gift, the coupon code thingy for Netflix or something. I don't know. But that's not going to work for somebody that has a very, Mormon or just not lushy type of clientele. So,
right. Well, and then you got to tailor to the areas too. I mean, in Florida, we've got a different demographic that we're hitting versus you're in California or wherever you're at. It's and if I do a lot of seniors, then I got to hit the senior market with it. If I do a lot of move up families, then we got to hit that.
Yeah, things like roses, everybody likes that.
Everybody.
Family photo shoots. I can't see that not being popular somewhere. I've never rented out a movie theater, but we did, what movie was that? Oh, Avengers, the big Avengers thing. We were supposed to do it this June for Top Gun, and then obviously not. But we did where we just had them meet us out front of the movie theater, and we gave them their tickets and a gift card for concessions. And they could sit wherever they wanted to sit. We didn't like block off seats or anything.
Right.
But we got to spend time. We took pictures out front, like little selfies, like, hey. And that was fun. And people, they tagged us on Facebook, like after the movie or even during, when sitting in their seats. They're like, thanks, Liz Johnson.
Well, that's fun. Did you picked out like a top 10, like the top 10 families to get those for? You didn't block out like really 10. Okay.
Well, no, we did no. So I'll say I got 20 spots.
Okay.
Because you have to stay in a budget, or else you're going to run your business into the ground. I mean, I'm making a ton of money right now, but I still stick to a budget because I want
to. You got to figure profitability. I mean, we just made X dollars a month, so let me go spend more. No, I need to block that for that June.
No, and it's not about the gift. And I see, and it drives me nuts, and I have to just scroll on or walk away. People are handing out like Instapots or like Coach purses, and I'm like, you guys, it's not that serious. I mean, I remember one giveaway because my now ex-husband got me this unicorn rainbow mug that's completely ridiculous. It's it's got this big unicorn head on it. It's crazy. I put it on Facebook, like, look what Josh got me, and everybody's like, oh my God, I need that. Where'd you get that? I like 90 comments, and I go, oh, this should be a giveaway. So I said, hey babe, where'd you get that? And he goes, Amazon. So I ordered a whole bunch of them on Amazon. It was hugely popular. Even if people didn't keep it for themselves, they're like, I'm going to give that to my aunt because she's crazy.
Right.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
But it's just stuff like that. It's just being aware of who your people are and what they want and what they need. So like when COVID was first, I think our April giveaway, we did all of our local restaurants that were doing like curbside or takeout.
Yeah.
And we got, even if they didn't have gift cards because they're just a small local mom and pop restaurant, we got gift certificates. So we put an email together with like, you get to pick from these 5 restaurants where you want a $25 gift card to.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I mean, it gets you in with the business owners as well.
Totally. And that's what I say in the book. You want to look for the win-win-win. So you're helping, like, even if it's your direct sales, multi-level marketing people selling spatulas or whatever, if you can get those at a discount, you're helping them. Or like one of my friends, she has a skincare line. She's a chemist and she created her own skincare line and she's trying to, get it out there. We did New Face, New Year for January.
Right.
And it has all her info in there. So we got it at a discount because now we're promoting her product to a whole group of people she would never have access to.
Right.
So she wins because she's getting not free advertising, but we win because we're giving away amazing products. And then the client wins because they're getting free, amazing products.
So do you see, for example, you're like her, does she see her business take off to a different level? Because what you did with her?
I don't know about take off, but
does she do some of those people go back to her and get more of that product, I guess?
Yeah, because we did, I think, 12 of those, and then
So that means it's a customer she didn't get, and she's getting some more stuff. So it's a nice benefit to kind of help out there.
Exactly.
So management, if I'm going to start this program, how much time should it take me to get it started, and then like the ongoing process?
The launch part is the most important part. I've seen people fail at this because they call, they text, they email. It didn't work. I'm like, tell me, okay, let
me get into coach mode that I didn't want to be in.
Yeah. What happened? Well, I got these, portable phone chargers, and I put an email out that I got the portable phone chargers. Like, so did you explain to them ahead of time, like last month or 2, that you were going to start doing this? No. I go, then you confused them.
They're looking at, they got a free product.
Yeah. Well, they're like, even when I did my launch, I had a very well-crafted email, very well-crafted snail mail letter. And then when I called, 80% of those people had no clue what I was talking about. Either they didn't open the email or the letter or never got it.
Right.
Or they did read it and they're like, well, what does it cost to join? I'm like, nothing. So people are skeptical by nature and they need a lot of, I'm a marketing geek. Like I love watching commercials. I know that sounds weird, but if you notice, they'll say the same thing over and over again, or they'll run the same commercial over and over again until it's beat down into your head.
Right.
That's what's up. So it's the same with us. We have to constantly remind people of how this works.
Well, and that's, if you're starting I liked your approach of get the calls out, pick your top 150 people, get a call out to them, reintroduce yourself, apologize, etc., and then let them know that within 60 days we're going to have stuff that you can either pick up or will be dropped off, or however you want to do it. Obviously, picked up is the best way to do it. Yeah. And log in, be part of our Facebook group so you can kind of see the things that are there and engage in the group so you get the notifications. Because I think that's the other part. Nobody gets the notifications because they're not engaged in the group.
Well, that's why I don't do my announcements on Facebook.
Okay.
Even then, Facebook wasn't as noisy as it is now. And at the time, I was like, well, I'm going to stick with email because I want them to get in the habit of opening up my emails, kind of like the Pavlov's dog thing.
Yeah.
Like when they see my name pop up, they will have a happy reaction thinking it might be, cupcakes or flowers or whatever, instead of me, inundating them with real estate stats and things like that. So, but now I'm really glad we didn't go the Facebook route like so many people did, because I leave a lot of groups or I mute them.
Yeah.
Because they're so noisy and I just don't care enough to hear. I mean, the other day I had 2 back-to-back appointments. So it was about 2.5 hours. I had 63 Facebook notifications and I didn't even post anything that morning.
Right. It was somebody knew somebody who was in a group that posted something. That's why you got the notification.
Yeah, I'm in all the real estate Facebook groups,
Yep.
So it's all of those notifications. And those are the groups I didn't mute. And then, so-and-so tagged me or somebody liked my comment. But it's so much that I scroll to just be like, who tagged me in a photo that might be inappropriate, okay? who commented or who had a question or who posted on my timeline. But yeah, the groups, I just kind of.
Right. And I get that. I've got, it's like I'm getting with our business now. I've got a small group of partners that we're trying to stay in touch with. And I had them on our Facebook group, and I realized that they're not seeing the stuff because they're not engaged in the group. So it's like now everything goes through Messenger. I mean, everybody checks that. So if we're going to post something, we'll either drop the link to the page or we'll just post the comment or the thing we needed to inside the message. Just hits everybody.
Right.
And I got a lot of people who don't even check their email. And it's like, we sent you guys the email, we sent you the text, and like still.
Yeah, with our giveaways, we had to, because we were noticing, because we had our thing, where it can show the open rate.
Yep.
And it was really low because it was going to spam a lot. So now we send the email, and about 20 minutes later, they get a text through Easy Text or so. I don't know. My assistant does it. But hey, check the email. It's the first of the month.
Quite a few programs you can do to kind of get the second alert on that.
Yeah.
Which helps. So now that we've got the program running, what is like the weekly time invested with the clients? Is it just more the first of the month, or is it something that drags out the whole month that I'm working on stuff?
I had to lay down the law and be like, you got to pick it up this week. Because after the first year, my office became like a menagerie of all the giveaways, like 1 or 2 Z's left because people never picked them up.
Right.
And so I've got them pretty well trained. And then when somebody answers and they're all saying about, I put you on the wait list if somebody doesn't pick it up this week.
Right.
And then I'll tell people, hey, I thought I was going to get over there Thursday. There's no way. Go ahead and give it to the next person. I'm like, okay.
That's respectful. That's good.
Yeah. But it's mostly just that first day. I don't really touch the program anymore other than meeting the clients or having an input on what we're giving away. My assistant runs that, and with all the software that's out there now, we can schedule stuff out. So she can write the email on the 20th and schedule it to go out on the 1st. And it's not that hard to manage anymore.
So like 5 hours a week, probably you need to invest in like an hour a week, or you spend, a couple hours at the beginning of the month, and then you're pretty much done. And it's just the time that you got the people picking the stuff up.
Well, it also depends on the giveaway too. So
true.
A lot of times my assistant's like, okay, I'm leaving today at 2. I'm going to go shopping for, the stuff.
Right.
Or, oh God, I just remembered, I forgot to bring I was supposed to bring a box in this morning. You
got first of the month coming right up. So
yeah, I was supposed to bring them in. They're in my garage. Yeah. So anyway, No, we'll have to. There's time of getting the stuff, and then there's assembling, like the roses thing. Those just come raw, like
Yeah.
they're from like a florist wholesaler. They're not pretty yet, so we have to trim the bottoms, put them in the vase.
Right.
All the.
That's where I think it gets detailed when you're sitting there adding product to what you're buying, or you're putting in little bags or whatever's going on there.
Yeah.
You do. You mentioned Starbucks in your book, like a loyalty program with that. Do you still do that?
Yeah, that's the second tier I get. It's like a moving target tier because there's MVP and then there's winner circle and all stars just kind of floats in between. So it's when somebody refers business to us or goes under contract with us, they become an all-star, which means they get a $10 Starbucks card that gets loaded every month with $10 for 6 months. And if they get another referral during that time, they get a $25 bonus and a 6-month extension. So that just happened with my client Eric. He's an all-star because he had me help him buy his new construction house. He's waiting for it to be built, but in the meantime he just referred me to his friends that are moving up here from California. So he got the $25 bonus, and then instead of his card expiring in 4 months, it's going to expire in 10 months.
Okay. It's a constant reminder. Now, do you have a lot of them? Will they lose the card, or they're pretty loyal with keeping that?
Meaning,
do you do a branded Starbucks card?
Yeah.
So do you have a lot of them who just think it's like a regular gift card, or you need to explain, hey, keep we're going to load money on it?
Instructions, because I learned the hard way. Took a few months to figure out what was going on because I'm not always the brightest person, but we have like in bold print when they get their card, there's like a little insert in there, like do not transfer this to your mobile app,
right?
To your other card, because then when I go to load it, it looks like they stole my debit card and it shuts the whole thing down.
Joy, and that becomes the nightmare. Like, God, do I really want to do this?
Right. No. So we just tell them like you can't. Like this is all this is, and then they get a reminder email every month. Congrats, your card's been loaded. Go enjoy. When they get down to the wire, they get a 60-day warning, like, hey, your card's about to expire in 60 days. Go find us another referral, or 30 days. And then on the day of expiration, they get like a little sad face saying, oh, you're no longer an all-star, but you're still one of our MVPs, and you're welcome back to all-stars with your next referral or piece of business.
Do you find a lot of management issues with that? I mean, what do you guys use to track that?
I don't touch it. My assistant does with Excel spreadsheets.
Okay.
So they know if somebody was on 60-day notice, then they got moved to 30-day notice, and then their expiration, there's a thing. And
so that's a job right there. Just, I mean, looking at that every day.
Yeah. And I've done it before. So when I first started it, I did it. And then I had a part-time assistant and she helped. And then I had to fire her. And I took it back on, and I just time blocked on the first of the month. I wasn't allowed to go on any appointments or anything. On the first of the month, I just loaded Starbucks cards and moved things around on the Excel spreadsheet and sent out my giveaway email and answered the people that wanted the giveaway.
Right. Well, I mean, it's enough. It's if you're generating the business from it, it's definitely worthwhile after the fact. You know, having that time invested doing it with whether the payroll or yourself.
Right. And within the first 2 months, I looked at my board and realized that I had $30,000 in escrow just from that. So I was like, oh, okay. So it was motivating to keep going.
Yeah. And what's your Starbucks budget?
It started as 150. So I remember I had that 300. I took 150 for that. So I figured if I was loading more than 15 people's cards a month, I had a high quality problem, and that it was okay to go out of budget.
Yeah, you increase the budget because your income's going up.
Yeah, so now we average anywhere from like $500 to $600 a month on Starbucks because we have 50 to 60 people that have either referred us or under contract with us at all times.
Okay, so that's not a bad. I mean, that's a great marketing budget. I mean, just on that alone.
Yeah.
You know, I think we're spending a couple thousand a month on Zillow, a couple on Google, Facebook, all the other stuff that people who don't know us, I'd rather put the money towards
totally
they're bringing back to us.
Exactly. And then the giveaway budget, I do spend more on events because I'm spending more time with them.
Yeah.
But the giveaway budget's anywhere from about 150 to about 300 a month, depending on if it was an event or not.
Okay. Which is not bad. I mean, you're a grand a month under, for the whole thing. And that's, I mean, if you're getting a couple deals a month, again, that's very inexpensive compared to we spend $4,000 a month on Zillow, and, we're getting hopefully 2 closings.
And these are warm leads. These are referrals.
Yep. So that's the benefit. I just hired my coach that was on, or a coach that was on last week. We just hired him for our team to talk about how to generate more referral business. I'm like, if I get my team doing that, then it brings our cost of attrition to the leads down, because they're people who want to work with you, who know you, like you, and trust you, versus trying to spend a 30-minute phone call getting to earn their business.
Right. Exactly.
It'll be a great investment set up. Liz, I want to thank you for popping on today. Any other wise words we can tell them about the program, or any final words you want to throw out there?
I would say consistency is key. In that real estate agents have a terrible reputation of being flakes. We're late a lot. We don't follow through sometimes. I know that would never be you or me. But I can't tell you how much business I've gotten from this, not because of the giveaways necessarily, but because they've seen me run this program now for 6 years, and I've never missed a month of a giveaway. I've never missed a beat. And they're like,
fine-tuned right there then.
Well, they'll say, God, you're so organized. You're so disciplined. I'm like, do you know me? But it's how you show up here is how you show up everywhere.
Right.
So I caution people, I say it in the book, and when I teach class, is don't start this till you know you can execute.
Right.
This isn't something you just try.
I'm part of a mastermind that there's 15 of us in it. 2 of them are doing the program at a high level. We started it not correctly, and we started it with, wow, that's a lot. Let's start it small, and then even the small stuff didn't go right, and so we've kind of scaled back a little bit. But we want to redo it in a different pattern and do it the correct way, because if you don't start out right, it's just going to fail. And people are like, hey, thanks for this, thanks for that. I don't know why I'm getting this, And
that launch is important.
Yeah, we're also mailing where we should be dropping off, or having them come to or not dropping off, having them come to the office, so they can pick it up.
Yeah, I love when they come to the office, because it's a subliminal reminder that I am a real estate professional.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'm not just a part-time, working from home with my kid. And I have an office, and it's fancy. And although my office right here is a mess, but the lobby is amazing.
If you go out my office door, it's all clean and nice. Everything that's on here, when the desk is up high, so you don't see all the crap on the floor.
That's why this is this angle here.
Yep. It's awesome.
Yes.
Well, Liz, thank you so much, guys. If you can need anything, we've got the book link dropped in the comments, and then we'll drop the Facebook group in there as well, so you guys can go in there. It's awesome.
And on the Facebook group, just answer the 2 questions, because I have so many unfulfilled requests, because I don't want people in there trying to sell fake Ray-Bans or.
I am dumbfounded. We're interviewing right now, not to go off subject, but we have a Wise Hire ad running, and the people will upload their resume. They won't go and do the profile or answer the 3 questions at the end. It's there's a process. Otherwise, we're not going to call you. And I love when they get a call about why didn't you look at my resume? Because you didn't go to step 2. If you can't go to step 2, how are you going to do a sales contract?
Yeah.
And all you have is 2 questions to ask. So answer them, and you'll get in the group. But a lot of value given there, a lot of ideas. Don't go to the coach purses, but go to the mock coach purses and give those away. But it's an awesome show. Thank you so much, Liz. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. You guys, everyone have a great Thanksgiving as well. We are off.